tell you the motivation why I did this event. See, I work in many countries and I look at lot of collaboration, and I've been visiting many countries and look at all the best scientists and best technologies. What I feel like always is important for our student and scientists to get trained in this area and try to reach to the similar platform what people do at Harvard, Stanford, MIT, and all the top labs in the world. So advances in proteomics technology, APT, is meant to bring all the recent advances in this field so that all my students here and scientists here can try to get those training and try to use the skill what they have to empower them for doing research. So first of all, motivation was to really empower people and train people and make the good strong foundation for our country. So once I started doing it, I realized that there was huge interest among the students, among the participants, and lot of scientists and collaborators, clinicians, as well as the industry heavily supported this event. So of course, it was in my mind already a big hit because we have 16 countries, people participating in this event, scientists coming from almost 90 scientists from 16 countries, and several hundred and thousands of students and participants are here. So it was a good satisfaction and a big hit in a way that to begin with. But I feel very satisfied that how the response are coming now, and let's hope that this is going to be useful for many collaborations to come. Many of the scientists who are coming here, they will open up new projects, new opportunities for us in the future. So let's hope for the best from the APT for the future activities. Well, I'll be very happy if our people are publishing to the same top journal what anybody from the top US lab publishes, right? The aim is to really train people, empower people. We are doing this workshop for that purpose. I'll be very happy to see that we are having equilibrium after a few years in that way. No, thank you so much for the discussion about it and all of your support.
My name is Joshua LeBaire, and I am a professor at Arizona State University in Arizona in the United States. My background, I'm a medical oncologist, so I'm a cancer doctor, and also I'm a biochemist that studies how molecules contribute both to disease and how we can use those molecules to find disease.
Okay, all right. And sir, you're here in IIT Bombay, one of the most reputed colleges in India. Coming over here, have you come before over here? And was it the first time you've been here?
This is actually the fourth time that I've been in India now.
Okay.
I've been to IIT Bombay a couple of times, and then also I've visited a couple of other places like in Delhi and elsewhere. But I do enjoy it, especially here in Mumbai.
Okay, fantastic. So tell us something more about this event which is happening today in IIT Bombay, which is the Omics. So what does it say about, and how you have become a part of this thing, and tell us something more about your contribution to the event.
Yes, so I think it's important to think about what we mean by Omics and what that represents, and it really is a revolution in science. In the last century, in the 20th century, it was the century of the microscope. We looked at things under a microscope and used that to tell us about what we were looking at. But in the 21st century, it's really the century of the molecules. And we look at molecules, there are millions of them, and they tell us all kinds of important things about diseases, what causes the diseases, how do we find the diseases. And omics is a reference to how we measure all of those molecules. In the old days, we would measure one or two of them at a time, but nowadays, we look at many of them all at the same time. In my case, my lab's interest is in looking at many proteins. And so we've devised a molecular array system called a protein array that displays thousands of proteins. And we can probe those with blood from patients to see if we can use those to help identify diseases. Other people are looking at gene expression, or they are looking at the structure of chromosomes, or at metabolites in the blood, but all of those together make omics, and Omics is a celebration of the value of these omic approaches to solving biology and advancing medicine.
Fantastic. So in the next 10 years, where do you see this technique, in India, in world, how it's going to develop more and more, helping people or all?
Yeah, so Omics is going to change the way medicine is practiced in the next 10 years. In the old days, when I was first trained as a cancer doctor, there was only one diagnosis of breast cancer. It was ductal carcinoma of the breast. And there was really one therapy for it. Nowadays, we already know there are 5 at least, and maybe more like 10 different subvarieties. And we're already employing that in which drugs to use for patients and how to treat them best. In the next 10 years, that's going to get even better. We're going to get even more specific about identifying diseases, understanding the medical causes, and then coming up with therapies that very selectively treat those. Already, we are seeing decreases in mortality among many cancers because of all these molecular therapies. And I think that's going to continue even more. So I think this whole Moodomics is really going to contribute to huge advances in medical therapy.
My name is Dr. Bipin Nair. I am the head of our School of Biotechnology at Amrita University in Kerala. And I'm also the Dean for Life Sciences at Amrita University. So I've known Dr. Sanjeeva Srivastava for a long time, and the idea of being here at this conference is to just get updated and also contribute to the deliberations that are going on over the past 4 days. Thank you.
So in short, I mean, जो normal जो जनता है उनको आप क्या बताएंगे about mood omics? What is this exactly, and how people can understand this is something that it is being planned in IIT Bombay this time?
So Moodomics is just an expansion of omics technologies, जिसे कहते हैं proteomics, metabolomics, transcriptomics, genomics. So an understanding of the processes that are in place in all living systems, और वो समझने से and getting a better understanding of these processes, we would be able to better understand disease states, better look at how these things, these conditions can be cured, can be diagnosed, and you can have a better health situation. So Moodomics is just a expansion of that to bring awareness. आप देखे होंगे कि there were at least 500-600 students from schools around Bombay who were given that kind of an exposure with quiz and debates and posters and interactions with the experts who are here from all parts of the world, and how they are able to impart that kind of knowledge, that awareness, that these are the things that the future generation, these students, can look forward to. So a mix of technology and understanding of the latest and the best sort of advancements in knowledge in the sciences.
Well, thank you for the interview. My name is Bernd Wolscheid. I'm from the Institute of Translational Medicine at ETH Zurich, and I got invited by Dr. Sanjeeva to present at your awesome symposium over here, APT 2025.
Okay. So what is this event all about in your own little words that people can actually understand? What is this Mood Omics, and what are the technologies that we are going to see today and what we have seen?
This is an awesome event. Dr. Sanjeeva is organizing now for a number of years. It brings together the community, the worldwide community interested in omics technologies. It allows us to connect not only with Indian scientists, but also, as we saw in the morning, with the next generation of scientists. So that was actually quite amazing. All the school kids which came over, and we gave a number of TED Talks in the morning to kids from different schools. I had a number of discussions afterwards and got them excited about the technology, about the impact of the technology, and how we can take the technology to the next levels for the benefit of patients.
Any specific specialization that you like over here? I mean, any specific technology that you want to share with us? What's the best thing about this particular event that you are doing?
Yeah, certainly. I mean, the event is focused on also proteomic technologies as one of the omic technologies. And as you saw from the presentations of Stephen Pennington and also from Josh LeBaire, it's about cancer. It's about eventually finding new biomarkers. It's about the idea that we can take technology into the clinic and for the benefit of patients.
So, my name's Steve Pennington. Came to Bombay today to attend this Omics conference. I work in Dublin. I'm British by background, and I've always had a passion for proteomics and proteins. Former president of the Human Proteome Organization.
Okay, so what is this event all about? In your own little words, can you make us explain Omics and the technology that we are going to see today, we'll be speaking on about?
Yeah, so I think Omics is a really interesting name, and I haven't heard it used in any other context. I suppose we're applying these technologies, that proteomics and genomics and metabolomics, to try to, in our case, probe deep questions that still challenges in healthcare. In diseases and trying to intervene in those diseases. And I suppose Omics conjures the fact that we've probably got that puts us in a really good mood, that we think we can make progress in those areas.
I'm a professor at the University of California, San Francisco in the United States, and I'm here to talk about the work in my laboratory where we try to develop new therapies for blood cancers using proteomics as a starting point. And the event today, we're here for the Advanced Proteomic Technology Conference organized by Dr. Sanjeeva Srivastava, and here the Omics event, which is really a confluence of culture and science and emphasizing cooperation and advances in India and how we can work together around the world.
Fantastic, sir. So what is this term Omics? When you hear it for the first time, what were your thoughts? What is it?
Sorry, Shiva. So,
Yeah, that's okay.
oh, it's okay. Okay, the audio is okay. So in this case, what it says to me is the omics is basically, this is a scientific term, is how we study all the different molecules and things inside our body at multiple different levels. We talk about mood, this is the emotion, right? This is what people feel. This is how we connect science and feeling, science and emotion, science and culture. So I think that's really what this event signifies.
This is Dr. Sanjeev Dhingra, and I'm a professor at the University of Manitoba, Winnipeg, Canada. I'm the director of Canada-Italy Tissue Engineering Program and associate head Department of Physiology and Pathophysiology. So I'm running a research lab that focuses on cardiac stem cell therapy and tissue engineering. We use different types of stem cells and biomaterials to regenerate injured heart after a heart attack. So that's about it.
So what is this stem cell? What does it deal with? I mean, what is it all about? Can you only that जो audience समझ सके, in your own little words, how do you explain it?
So a stem cell is a cell in the body that can turn into any cell type within our body. So a mature cell. So stem cells are present in different organs within the body. They help in endogenous repair process. What I mean is, after any injury inside the body, body itself heals it. Body heals itself. So stem cells play a big role in there. So that's how they are. So that being said, you can also transplant stem cells from outside. What I mean by this is, you can take stem cells from body, culture them, expand them in a culture dish, and then implant back to the body to repair the injured organs.
Okay. And so talking about this even now, Omics, how would you define it in your own words? What is this Omics as? When you heard the name for the first time, what were your thoughts about this event?
Well, so this is great. I mean, specifically Omics, to me this is very innovative. They have blended culture with science. I think it's first time I'm witnessing something like this. So this is a different and innovative way of learning science and about culture itself. I think there are a lot of commonalities. So if we keep doing this way, learning will become easier. That's my take.
Is Judith Steen. I am an associate professor at Harvard Medical School, and I study how your brain ages and how it ages badly in some conditions. When I was growing up, my amamma lived with us, and she had Alzheimer's research. Can I start again? Sorry. So my name is Judith Steen, and I am a professor at Harvard Medical School, and I study neurodegeneration. And as a child, I grew up with my mama being in the house with Alzheimer's disease, and it affected me a lot. I saw her lose the person she was, and I saw how difficult it was for my mother as well to see her mother forget who she was. And over time, this stayed with me, and I decided that I would like to do something to study this disease and understand how we can keep our brains healthy as we age without forgetting who we are and without forgetting our family around us.
So, hello, my name is Professor Graham Ball, and I'm the founder and Chief Scientific Officer of a company called Intelligent Omics. Our company looks at the power of measurement of molecules within the human body and using the power of AI. And from that, we can identify the key things that make a disease tick. And from that, we can also identify diagnostics that help us detect disease earlier.
Okay. So this event that we are attending today, Mood Omics, how do you relate to this, and what is the person that came to your mind when you heard the name?
So this is really an interesting event because it blends the thrill of science, but also it brings about culture. You know, many scientists have to have an artistic side as well. Sometimes in science we have to be really creative and have to really try and solve problems by thinking out of the box. And art, music, dance are all forms of creativity which can inspire us to be our muse in order to find new things about biology.
Hello, my name is Johan Schwenk. I'm a professor of translational proteomics from Stockholm, Sweden. I work at the Science for Life laboratory, part of the Human Protein Atlas project, and my main research interest is in studying the proteins circulating in blood.
Okay. So, what do you want to say about this event that we are attending today, that Mood Omics? What is the first thing that came to your mind when you heard that name, Mood Omics, and how you associate with your technique or your technology that you have created?
Yeah, so I mean, Mood Omics is of course a mix of emotions, I would say. It brings a lot of color, a lot of movement and experience, and I think also it expands the perspectives that we gain when we work in different environments, when we present ourselves to different things, and I think it's really an experience that will of course resonate for a long time.
So first of all, I'd like to congratulate Professor Sanjeeva Srivastava for a wonderful event. He always hosts with a style, I would say. It's amazing how this has been put together so beautifully, both in terms of scientific talent as well as social upliftment and recognition of the society. I think it is about the entire society coming together to celebrate science, and this is the most beautiful part of how everything is brought together by him and his team, Professor Srivastava and his team. I feel that they have a special knack to showcase the talents, the local talents also wonderfully. And of course, it's also a celebration of science, and in the vicinity of that celebration is also the social upliftment happening and the inspiration to the younger generation through what they see with established world-class scientists as well as what they see with local talent. So an amazing get-together and amalgamation of different kinds of thoughts and talent.
Fantastic. Now, in the next 10 years, where do you see event Mood Omics? You know, people are talking about it, people are become a part of that event. How do you see the next 10 years?
Oh, I find it brilliant. I mean, the entire, just the spirit of the event is so vibrant. I feel that this is going to grow by the year. I can't even imagine what will it be in 10 years, but most certainly even the next year, I feel it will be even more vibrant. But I'm not surprised because the leader is such. Professor Srivastava is such that there is so much of energy, and I was just telling him, how do you get it? How do you get the inspiration? How are you so motivated? So I feel the event itself has so much promise that within the next few years it would be one of the most talked about events. I can't even imagine what 10 years later would bring. So many congratulations to the organizers.
Thank you. Can you just tell us something about how is the collaboration association with the Promtica? Can you just
So, one of the things, so I'm a clinician, and one of the things that really would make a difference and bring about transformative change is if we can bring in translational science along with the clinical science. So it's about bench to bedside. So when we witness such events where researchers who have established their footing in this particular area of translational science, and we bring them abreast with clinicians like myself, we are able to help give a different translating message to the clinical side of things. So I hope for new biomarker findings, I hope for novel pathways, I hope for novel drug development. And as a precision oncologist, this is being very ambitious, but this is also real because you have all the speakers.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.